All right, first graders, this is lesson 22. Before you start this lesson, you need your whiteboard, expo marker, and something to use as an eraser. Okay? So if you don't have those things, pause this video, go get them, and then come right back. All right, ready? Here we go. In past lessons over the last week, you have been given a problem and you've been creating models to go with it. Today, that's going to be twisted around because instead, you are going to get a model and you are going to have the opportunity to write a word problem to go with it. So, if you love soccer, you can make a problem about soccer. If you love Pokemon cards, you can make a problem about Pokemon cards. It's up to you. So, we're going to start by looking at 3 different models and 3 different problems. Now, these problems don't necessarily match the model that's right underneath them. So we need to match the problem to the correct model. First, we're going to look at the models and the problems, okay? In this model, I notice here is the total, and here is one part and the second part. So what's missing in this model is our total. In my second model, I notice that the total is here and we have one part, but what we're missing is that second part. In my third model, I'm again missing the total and instead I have the 2 parts. Let's look at the problems and see if we can figure out which problem matches which model. Let's start with Allie. Allie made 12 paper dolls. She gave 5 of them to her sister and kept the rest. How many dolls did Allie keep? So let's think about this. What do we know in this problem? We know Allie made 12 paper dolls. What happened next? Well, she gave 5 of them to her sister. Think about what that means. She gave 5 of them to her sister. The question says, how many dolls did Allie keep? Well, I know in this problem, the number 12 and the number 5 are going to need to be in the model. If I look at my first model, I see 7 and 5, but I don't see 12 and 5. If I look in my next 2 models, they both have 12 and 5. So let's think. Is 12 the total, or is 12 one of the parts? If you said 12 was the total, you're right. Allie made 12 paper dolls. That means that's how many there were total. Then what she did is she gave 5 of them to her sister and kept the rest. Here we see Allie giving 5 of those away, and this is the number that she has left. Let's look at the next question. Heath has 7 red marbles and 5 blue marbles. How many marbles does Heath have? I want you to pause the video and see if you can think, which model does this problem go with? All right, are you ready? Looking at this problem, I see that Heath has 7 red marbles and 5 blue marbles. The question asks, how many marbles does Heath have? It wants to know the total. So what this problem doesn't know is the total. Looking at these 2 models that I have left, I see that my first model has 1 part 7 and 1 part 5 and is missing the total. So those 2 match up. Let's look at our third problem to make sure we've done it right. Dylan jogged 12 miles on Saturday and then 5 miles on Sunday. How many miles did he run in all? What are we looking for here? One of the parts or one of the totals? If you said we're looking for the total, then you're right. Dylan jogged 12 and 5. Those were both apart. So the total is 17. Nice job, first graders. Let's look at and create our own word problem. It says, use the tape diagrams to write a variety of word problems. Use the word bank if needed. Remember to label your model after you write the story. Okay, so we need to write a story to go with the problem. Well, the first thing I notice is that my total is 17. That's how many there are altogether. And then I have one part that is 12 and one part that is 5. I'm going to choose a topic from up here where it says topics. Let's say goldfish, okay? I'm going to say there are 12, let's make this bigger. There are 12 goldfish in the pond. I'm going to say then 5 frogs jump into the pond. How many frogs and goldfish are there total? This matches the model because I see there are 12 goldfish in the pond and 5 frogs jump into the pond. The question says how many frogs and goldfish are there in total? So what we're looking for is this 17. Well, now my last step, I need to label my model. So I know that the 12 was the goldfish and the 5 was the frogs. The 17 up here is my total. Is this the only problem that we could write to match this model? No, of course not. We could have used any number of these nouns up here, or you could choose your own. You could choose to talk about soccer balls or Pokemon cards like we talked about earlier. It's totally your choice. I want you to pause the video and write your own word problem to match this. All right, you ready? Next one. Ooh, this time our problem looks a little bit different. We have 16 as our total. We have 7 as a part, and now we are missing our other part. So we need to think, how can I write a word problem to match this question? I want you to pause the video and see if you can write a word problem to match this question. All right, you ready? I'm going to show you how to do one. So let's say there are 16 players on the team. All right, that's my total. So I know there's 16 total players on the team. Let's say some of the players are wearing blue and 7 of the players are wearing red. Now what am I looking for? I'm looking for how many are wearing blue. So I need to make sure that I ask that question. How many of the players are wearing blue? Now what I've given is I've given my total, which is 16 players. I said some of the players are wearing blue. That's my unknown that's right here. And finally, I said 7 of the players are wearing red. That's my part right here that I do know. So now it says how many of the players are wearing blue. I would love to see the problem that you wrote to go with this model. Take a picture of it and upload it to Seesaw so I can see it. All right, good luck on Lesson 22 work in your notebook.